All right, you got a theme song? All right, Dean. All right, guys, we're gonna roll here on this demo in just a second. I'm just gonna, hi Dee, how are you? Good, nice to see you. You like crepes?
Yeah.
You might want to stick around.
Okay. I gotta go get my hair done. I think that's
Gee whiz.
isn't it?
Gee whiz.
Another time, Cordell.
All right, promise? All right, guys, we're gonna wash up, get rolling on this. I'm gonna cover a lot in this first demo, guys.
I can write it down too, because when I go to talk to my like, if you want me to, it takes some work. They're doing a really good job.
You're welcome to. Sure. In fact, the whole front row, if you guys want to sit down. There's a couple more over there.
Yeah, it was, and that was, I didn't do the art.
All right, guys, how many of you like crepes?
I did the same.
Crepe is a pancake, C-R-E-P-E. All right? All right? Or if you don't know any better, you can say crepes. C-R-E-P-E, crepe. Okay, it is a pancake, okay? But it's versatile. It's more versatile than our like fluffy American style pancakes. I never did hear a theme song. That's all right. We're just gonna roll with it. You guys have been patient, right? Is that what you call that? Yeah? You're patient, right? Okay. Or just bored, nothing better to do than come to the market. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, a crepe is a pancake, okay? Now, the crepe batter, frankly, I don't remember the recipe. It's heavy on eggs. There's some milk in there. There's a little bit of flour, and I put a little bit of salt and barely a little bit of sugar. I don't like the crepe itself to be sweet. Okay? Why? Because if I make a bunch in advance and want to wrap them and hold them in my freezer, I want to decide how I'm going to use it later, when I'm going to use it. I may take it in a savory direction, I may take it in a sweet direction. So I don't want the crepe itself to be sweet. Okay? So, I should feature some preserves. Should I feature some of your huckleberry jam? Yeah? Yeah? Those go very well with these crepes, okay? I'm going to show you how to make a crepe, but I'm going to show you a sweet version and a savory version, okay? And then you're welcome to try them both. All right, so what is a crepe? It is a pancake, right? It's very thin, okay? The batter is really loose. Thank you so much. Okay, so you guys are going to get your huckleberry jam from Diana right here at Timber Butte Elk Ranch, right behind you, right? And so I'll serve these crepes with some huckleberry jam. I'm going to show you how to make them. I'm just kind of visual. I need all my stuff out in front of me. So again, I'm going to do a sweet version and a savory version. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, guys, so here's the crepe. I'm actually going to pass one around so you guys can feel how thin this is. Okay? So go ahead and pass that around. Have I told you my crepe story before? You've heard it because you've taken classes from me. I used to manage a cooking school in Sacramento, and my assistant manager was auditing my class. There was about a dozen or so people, and Joe was sitting in the back, and I had passed a crepe around so you could feel how thin it was, and then I didn't care about it. I just wanted to know where it was, so it wasn't sitting in my classroom, and I said, hey, where's that crepe? And Joe had eaten it after all those people had handled it. So if you're that hungry and do like eating what other people touch, you're help yourself. So, all right, I'm going to show you guys how to make these crepes. And why don't I do one pan here? Usually when I make crepes, I'll get 2 pans going. I don't care. I don't want it. You can throw it in the garbage if you like. Or just hand it to someone who's hungry. Say, here, someone who walks up late, wanting all the answers, having not attended class. Here, throw it in there. All right, guys. Let's see what we have here.
Do you guys do other markets?
Okay, so for making crepes, you want a nice non-stick pan, okay? Now, I don't care if you specifically buy a crepe pan, which this just happens to be, but you could also use this for omelets and sauteing fish and things like that. So essentially, it's a saute pan with short sides. But again, you don't have to buy a specific pan for this if you don't want to. I have some butter that I've melted. Even though it's a non-stick pan, about every 3rd crepe, I do butter the pan, okay? Why? Because I like the looks of the ones when they come out of the pan having been buttered.
3/4.
Okay, the crepe batter, any cookbook, or go online and look up a crepe, look it up. I'm more interested in technique and showing you options and some ways that you can use the fresh stuff from the market than I am interested in giving you a recipe, okay? There's nothing sacred about it. Find a crepe recipe. It's going to be relatively thin. It's roughly the consistency of cream, okay? There is crepe batter, okay? And all you do is you mix the eggs, milk, some flour, some salt, a little bit of sugar if you want, mix it in a blender, and then let it hang out for a little bit so the bubbles can come up to the surface. Some say you let it rest so the gluten can relax, but in my opinion, there's way more protein from eggs in here than there is protein from flour, which is gluten. You do not need to let this rest for that reason, though it is a good idea to let it rest. Just sometimes people say the wrong reason why they're letting the batter rest. I like for the bubbles to come up out of it, okay? And then, yes, in case there's much separation, I do like to give it a stir, like you just saw me do, prior to proceeding, okay? So again, I'm going to show you how to make crepes, and you can call them crepes if you want. I probably won't throw too many verbal jabs your way. But these are crepes. Again, they're a thin pancake. You can use them for either a sweet or a savory application, okay? Okay, so by buttering this, I can see the sizzle, and I know my pan is hot. Now, some people I know like to ladle in a designated amount, swirl it, and then cook it, flip it, right? But I actually like to, once I know my pan is hot, I actually like to pour, coat the bottom of the pan, pour out the excess. This is how I like to do a crepe, okay? Otherwise, I'm sitting there dinking around trying to get this exact measured amount, a 2-ounce ladle, a 3-ounce ladle, 1-ounce ladle, whatever it is. I'm trying to get it to coat perfectly the bottom of the pan. Okay, I find better success, it's quicker, less tedious to pour, coat, dump. Okay, savvy? But you can do it either way you want, okay? I'm not overly concerned about which way you do it in your own home. Okay, we need to turn this. And how I usually turn the crepe is this little part where I poured it out becomes my handle. Okay, so I have that little part I can grab and you simply flip it. It is going to hold together even though it's so thin because the protein in the egg. Okay, as the protein coagulates, what's that mean? If you've ever seen an egg cook and go from liquid to semi-firm state, you've seen protein coagulate. Okay, due to the fact that the egg cooks, those proteins give that strength. It's much like a dough that you need, something like that, you know, but that's gluten, you see, so that's a different protein anyways. So here is a crepe. It's even thinner actually than the one I passed around. Okay, there's a crepe. Now when you're making crepes, again, I don't butter every pan. I butter about every third. And I do keep the pan going. I do keep it warm. Again, pour, coat the bottom of your pan, dump out the excess, and this little bit here that coats the side of the pan, that little lip becomes your handle. Okay? Questions on making the crepe?
How hot is this?
That's an excellent question. I have this set to about medium, just under medium. Once your pan gets hot, it'll maintain that heat. You don't want it to burn, you don't want it too quick. But if it's too low, it won't coat. All the batter will pour out. But if it's warm enough, it'll start to adhere because it starts to cook that batter as it hits the hot pan. Cool? So on your stove, exactly what your setting is going to be, I'm not sure. This is why I'm giving you these indicators. Okay, so here's my handle. I turn over the crepe. Very nice, okay? Nice and thin. You can do that, right? The correct answer is yes, I can. I'll ask again. You can do that, right?
Yes, I can.
Very good. I like it. I question whether or not Jeannie can, really, but I'm pretty sure most of you can.
Hey, I can.
Okay, so here's our crepe. Out of the pan, okay? So you can just keep going. See, Jeannie's welcome to call it a crepe, but we're all going to call it what? A crepe. C-R-E-P-E is a crepe, okay?
I give him a bad time because I'm a vendor.
Here we go. Nice and thin, right? There's our crepe. Now, can you make crepes ahead? Yes. Usually I'll make them ahead in about a dozen or so, and I will wrap them. You don't need to put paper between them or anything, okay? Now, some of these I folded ahead of time. Some of these I cut sample portions for you to try. I'll get to that in a minute. So what I'll do sometimes is go like so. And you could actually have a platter like this, cover it with foil, hold it warm in the oven, and then just top it with something or serve it, like pull it out, dust it with powdered sugar, something like that, and serve it when your guests arrive. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna grab our handle, we're gonna flip the crepe. So you guys are savvy with crepes, right? Cool? I can kill this, right? Very good. And so, there we go. Do you see them sticking? Or can you stack them directly? You can stack them directly. And you can wrap these and freeze them. Usually I'll label them, 10 or 12 or 15, however many I have in a stack, and I'll wrap them and freeze them, okay? Just so happened, these I made for you 2 days ago, and I simply wrapped them. Now, granted, I am gonna need to probably warm them up a little bit. They'll be a little nicer eating for you, okay? So, if you have crepes with orange, and flambe it with some orange brandy, butter, orange segments, orange brandy, flambe it. Who knows what that's called? That's a crepe Suzette, okay? And so because they're flambéed, sometimes, because it's a nice presentation, sometimes they'll serve that tableside at restaurants, but never order crepes, never order anything flambéed from a maitre d' with no eyebrows, all right? Watch out, okay? So if you're gonna flambe something, please be careful, okay? So crepes. So you guys are savvy with the crepes, right? Okay, so why don't I'm gonna make a sauce. Now I'm gonna take this in 2 directions. I have a lot to squeeze into this demo. I'm going to actually, let me see here.
It's raining.
Is that rain? Oh my gosh. You guys are diligent. Okay, if it keeps up, I'll let you come in here, okay? And I'll turn around and face you guys. All right? Are we versatile here at the Eagle Saturday Market or what? Huh? Yeah? Watching out for you. Okay, you're gonna see Laura for the discs, right? The DVDs have prior week's demos on them. 2 30-minute demos, 1-hour DVD, $5. See Laura for those. Okay. So you know what? First, let me actually warm some of these. Let me see what we're gonna do. I actually want to make the savory version first. I want to do a sauce for you. I'm gonna make a bechamel. Okay. Bechamel is milk thickened with a roux. How many of you know what a roux is? R-O-U-X. A roux is a mixture of butter and flour, or if you don't want to use butter, you can use olive oil. So some kind of fat plus flour, equal quantities of each equals a roux. And it's a paste that is used to thicken sauces. Okay, so I am going to make a roux, and then I'm going to add some milk. Okay, so I'm going to do a bechamel. Now let me define some terms. Because if you can make one of these sauces, you can make any of these, okay? If you take a roux and use it to thicken milk, you have what's called a bechamel or a cream sauce, okay? If you take roux and use it to thicken stock, then you have what's called a veloute, V-E-L-O-U-T-E, and that's known as a white sauce, okay? So a cream sauce is called what? Begins with a B.
Bechamel.
Cream sauce is a bechamel. A velouté is, here's your quiz. I'm going to ask you these questions a bunch of different ways, okay? A velouté, or a white sauce, is roux plus what?
Stock.
Stock, very good. And it's a white stock, okay? So it's a white sauce, comes from stock like vegetable stock or chicken stock or a stock from veal bones or something like that that you did not roast, okay? So again, velouté is a white sauce, roux plus stock. Bechamel is a cream sauce, roux plus what? Roux plus milk. I'm gonna make a bechamel right now, and okay, so to make the roux, first we heat the butter, and again, this is actually a crepe demo, but I'm squeezing a lot of stuff in here for you, right? You're getting your money's worth today, huh? Yeah? So to make a bechamel, we take our butter, our flour, we make the roux, right? Now come on, where else can you see some guy carry flour around in a squeeze bottle? Gee whiz. So here's our roux. Here is milk, okay? Yeah.
What's the ratio of flour to butter?
Equal parts, roughly, yeah. So I probably have a tablespoon and a half of each right here. And I'm going to use that to thicken about a cup and a half of milk, okay? Now you can adjust the consistency of your sauce by adjusting the ratio of roux to liquid, okay? So if you want it more thick, then you can certainly have this much roux and just thicken a little bit of liquid with it. But I like to keep it kind of loose and saucy, okay? A sauce should be thin enough to pour, yet thick enough to coat, okay? So here's our roux. See how it's taken on a little bit of color? It's toasted and nutty. You want to cook it for a minute before you add your liquid. Now we're going to bring it to a boil, and this will thicken. You must bring it to a boil to maximize the thickening power of the roux, okay? Otherwise, it's just going to be the consistency of milk or whatever you put in there. Okay, so we're going to bring our bechamel to a boil.
Did you teach them?
You know what I need? I actually need some nutmeg. Would you go over to Starlight Herbs and grab some nutmeg? Just tell Florence or Ron that I sort of forgot about that ahead of time. Some nutmeg for a bechamel. Okay, the classic seasoning for a bechamel. Nutmeg, salt, and white pepper, okay? Okay, so we're gonna just make sure this thickens, let it simmer for a minute, and our cream sauce here is called a what? A bechamel. Now, how many of you have ever made a cheese sauce and had the fat set, have the emulsion break, okay? I've made cheese sauce in the past, or like a soup or something of that sort, where I had an oil slick up top and a curdled mess down below, okay? You can make a cheese sauce or a mornay, thank you so much. Thank you. You can make a cheese sauce or a mornay by simply taking this off the heat and melting cheese into it. So again, to make a cheese sauce, make a mornay as a cheese sauce. Take your bechamel, add the cheese, then do you want to keep it on high heat? No. You want to take it off the heat, simply melt your cheese into the warm or hot sauce, okay? So the trick to cooking with cheese is that you don't cook the cheese. Okay? You just warm it through enough to melt the cheese. Okay? Now, a classic seasoning for either one of those sauces, and again, this was just milk we thickened with a roux, right? The classic seasoning for any of these sauces is salt, white pepper, and what dried spice? Nutmeg, okay? So here we go, I'm just a hint. It's not gonna taste like holiday cookies, guys, okay? So I have just a hint there. I'm using just a touch of salt, and let's give it a twist of white pepper. We'll taste the bechamel here in a minute. Single-use tasting spoons all the time, guys. Doesn't that irk you when you see the chefs taste with their fingers? It irks me. It irks you, huh? It's a bad thing. You don't want to do that, okay? Single-use tasting spoons all the time, guys. So again, our bechamel is made with roux plus what? And how are you going to make that into a cheese sauce? I'm sorry? Add the cheese. Take the sauce off the heat, melt the cheese into it, right? Very good. Cool. It was whole milk. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we have our bechamel. What I'm gonna do is serve you some tastes of crepes with, I'm gonna serve it actually with some sauteed vegetables. So you're gonna have a savory version that's the crepe, sauteed vegetables, and bechamel. I should move this along pretty quickly now, huh? Right? Okay, let me saute some veggies up. I'm gonna serve you guys. I'm gonna make one of these a sweet version. We'll just put some, I'll just saute that in butter. All right, I've got too much on this table, huh? Gee whiz. Okay, I'm gonna have taste of sweet version, the savory version, and where are we? Let's finish our sauce. Okay, we have a bechamel. You can strain it if you want to be assured that there are no lumps. Go ahead and strain it. Oh, clumsy me. Need salt. Okay. And let's give it another hit of pepper. Now the crepes are relatively neutral flavor. Okay? Remember, I don't add sugar to them. They do have salt, lest it tastes, you know, funky or something. I'm not gonna use that whisk, obviously.
You want me to wash it for you in soap? You want me to wash
Nope. All right, so again, here's our bechamel and single use. That's nice. Now, I like it just like that. If I cook pasta in a boiling salted water, I would go ahead with it like that. But because these crepes are relatively neutral flavor, I'm going to give it just a little more salt for you, okay, guys? Just a little more salt, and I'm going to go a little more on the nutmeg, just to make sure we're nicely seasoned here. And
now you put nutmeg, even though you're going to do it with vegetables too.
of course, a bechamel, classic seasonings, 3 of them: salt, white pepper, nutmeg. Okay, guys?
White pepper.
You could use black. And actually, I'm not overly concerned about flex. It could have very well been black pepper.
Oh, okay.
But again, if you do not want flex, if you want it pristine, then forego the black, use white in its place. Okay? So let me get some of these vegetables sauteed for you. I'm just going to do a quick saute on these veggies, and high heat, short period of time, little splash of olive oil. Okay. So I have some zucchini that I cut very thin. I have a little bit of jalapeno pepper. I wanted something red. It could have very well been a red bell pepper. It could have very well been a whatever. Okay, I just wanted a variety of color. It looks better, right? So think contrast when you're thinking about composing a plate for someone. Okay, so again, I want high heat. Saute is a long time or a short time? Short period of time, high heat. So these veggies are just gonna take a second, and I'll hit it with fresh herbs also. And then I'm gonna rewarm my bechamel and serve some crepes to you. And I might lay something out like this if I were gonna serve it on a platter. But I wouldn't normally serve it like this, but these are your tasting samples. Okay guys, so you're cool like that? Sorry I didn't give it a nice purdy one for you, okay?
What's the difference between green basil and purple basil?
Not a lot. Some of the purple basil, the smaller stuff, is actually a Thai basil, which is more spicy. But this isn't spicy. Ira Powers has it. He's right there in the yellow tent. So he has a lot of these fresh herbs. And your dry herbs you're going to get from Starlight Herbs right over here. So I'm going to saute these. They'll just take a second, but let me lay a couple more out here. I'm not going to worry about warming these through because I'm going to hit them with hot vegetables and hot sauce. Okay? So there we are. This is how I might lay some onto a platter. But again, here's your tasting portions right here.
How much nutmeg did you put? Half teaspoon?
You saw how much I put in, I don't know. Okay. And then you're gonna taste and you're gonna adjust your seasonings, right? So is my pan lukewarm? It's very hot, okay? And so I'm just gonna give this a quick toss. Just gonna give this a quick toss and be done with it. Okay, so it's going to spend less than a minute probably on the heat. Again, I'll need a little salt and pepper over here. And again, made crepes earlier. I could show you again how to do another crepe because I know some of you did not see that. You walked up more recently. So again, I'm doing a sweet and a savory version of crepes. Okay? CREPES. Yeah, so a crepe is a pancake. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. I'm going to add a little bit of basil. I'm just going to toss these vegetables. I'll kill the heat. I want to get a little more heat on underneath my I want to get a little more heat on underneath my sauce. Again, this is a bechamel or cream sauce, right? Tell us what's in there. First we begin with a what? A roux, which consists of butter and flour. Then we add what? We add milk. And then we season it with 3 things. Tell me the 3 things, please. You are good. All right, I'll give him a taste.
But it doesn't really taste like that bag.
Nope.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. No, it works in conjunction with the other flavors. So, okay, we're gonna kill the veggies, and so here I need to see where we stand. I'll give this a taste. Now, do you taste your food when you're seasoning, guys?
Yeah.
Or do you just go ahead and pass salt and pepper shakers at the table? Tasting your food prior to seasoning is a great practice. Great practice for you.
Those lies off.
All right. Now, do we have a lot of stuff on this table or what? I want to watch him juggle all this stuff. That's what you're saying, huh? Okay. So here we have some crepes with sauteed vegetables, and I'm going to serve it with the bechamel.
Yeah, very pretty.
Oh, you're so nice. Here's our bechamel. We already determined our seasoning was where we want it, right?
Bechamel V, right?
B-E-C-H-A-M-E-L. Bechamel. And like so. Okay, so here's going to be your taste of your savory crepes, right, guys? And I'm going to do a quick warm through on these sweet ones for you. I'm just going to throw them in a pan with a little butter, and you can hit them with a little bit of pressure if you want. Okay. We're still on here? I use stainless steel also, but you know, just depends on what I'm doing. There have been times here at the market where I've seared scallops and stuff like that for you, but I had my nonstick pans. I forgot to grab a stainless steel pan. But if you want a nice sear on something, nice brown charred bits, then you want to use stainless. Okay? Okay, guys. So I'm going to warm some of these crepes through in a little butter. And then I'm going to serve them to you with some of the huckleberry jam from Timber Butte Elk Ranch, right behind you. Okay? Wonderful product.
So when you serve this, people come up to eat it like that. They just cut a piece just like that.
Yeah, you would take a few. Or if I were actually serving a plated part, why don't I show you how I might do that with some of these sweet ones right here. So these are the ones I made for you earlier. And again, I can show you how to make a crepe. I might take a few like this and just arrange them across a plate. And okay, so again, I'm just warming these through so you guys can try them. And I'm gonna have some plates up here and some of these guys. So you can come up and actually help yourself. Please be mindful, there's people behind you, all right? And you can put some savory and some sweet right here, okay?
We'll have to cut a little of those with a knife. Those ones.
These are already cut for you to try. All right, guys. So again, I'm just warming these through. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to try something unique. Cardamom. How many of you use the spice cardamom? Okay. Cardamom is a ground seed, and I'm going to hit this with a little bit of cardamom. You're going to go see Florence of Starlight Herbs for the nutmeg and the cardamom, okay?
What flavor does cardamom give?
Cardamom flavor.
Hold your hand out. Hold your hand out.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
What does it taste like?
A little jump.
I'll let you taste it.
Taste a jump.
You know what? Whenever my kids say, well, what's it taste like? And I have an opportunity, frankly, I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you if I can give you the opportunity to put some in your mouth. Okay? I'm just not going to waste my breath. So, but I will let you taste it. Hand, please.
Yeah.
So cardamom is commonly found in Indian cuisine in the whole pods. Okay? This is the ground seeds that come out of the pods. Okay? So here we go. Sweet crepes, savory crepes. You guys are welcome to come forth. And I want to thank Chase Farms, they're around here somewhere, for providing me the eggs to whip this batter up for you. Okay? So here you go. There is some crepes with huckleberry jam, and I might take some like so, and maybe I would go something like this and put a little sprig of herbs, like so. And if you want to give it a dusting of powdered sugar, you can certainly do that too. Is all my heat off? Okay, there you go. All right, guys, you guys are welcome to come up here and give it a try.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Would you reasonably put basil on that or maybe a mint on that?
Whatever you want. Basil and mint are related. Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about it either way. Even parsley, even though it's sweet. Exactly. All right, guys, here's some little tongs. Here's some tongs here. And here's some tongs here. And thank you much. And you're going to see Laura for DVDs, right, guys? Yeah. Cool. Very good. Oh, great. Oh, good. Yeah.
Plenty of bees.
Yeah, I know. They're attracted to the sweet. They're attracted to the sweet. So, you guys try some of each, okay, guys? And if you do come back up, if there's some that you want to try seconds, discard your old plate and grab a clean one, please.
Still by the applause that Cordell has
I got to offer a job.
fashioned another